This collection of demos he'd found at a studio called Macca Studio off the back of Hills Road, which was a lot to do with a group of Scottish guys in a band called ju4. Mark was the drummer and Demi was the singer and so on. So they'd recorded these demos of various Cambridge bands, and Peter's idea was to put them onto a tape, sell the tape to raise funds to gain interest in building a new venue in Cambridge, which would hold about 200 people or so. That was the first idea. Peter financed the recording of the tape, which is playing in the background here. And rather at the same time, but not really to do with what we were doing, there was a cycle shop on East Road called Thakes. Now, this had been emptied while Thakes moved to another premises and had been occupied by some people who wanted to put on parties there every weekend. And when I say parties, I mean groups, disco, all that kind of thing, all through the night. At the time, I was living next door, actually, on East Road in Amblecott, which was very close to this Thakes cycle shop at the top of Norfolk Street. So these guys would put on these doos there, and the third week they closed East Road and claimed there'd been a riot and this kind of thing, and basically there was 200 people or so that was in this place, and they ringed the place with police, and within a couple of days they knocked the building down, just showing how fast the council can work when they choose to. Anyway, because of this, there was a big meeting at the Guildhall, and prior to this, we'd come up with this idea of the tape. We'd had a meeting with John Woodhouse. We'd met at the studio, Macca Studio in Hills Road, to talk about this, and formed Cambridge Music Trust, as we'd called it, to administer the tape, with John Woodhouse as the chairman of that. Now, because we'd formed that, Chris Howard, the leader of the council, brought us into it straight away, even though what had happened at Thakes was nothing to do with us at all. We did know the people that were involved in it. Phil actually was living in what used to be Alistair Crowley's house, which explains a lot. But there we go. And so he was the main sort of driver of this thing in Thakes cycle shop. Anyway, this huge meeting at Guildhall with about 80 people turned up, something like that. And Chris Howard put forward this thing that he was going to put up 250,000 from council money to locate a place to build this centre where you could have 200 or 300 people watching local bands.